So how are things in Scotland?
Well, today it's weather's been up and down and everywhere. We've had this last
Yeah.
month. We've had snow. We've had rain. We've had how it goes. This is
Yes.
Scotland. We can
Yes.
have all the seasons weather all at once.
Absolutely. I'm kind of in the same latitude over in the U.S. So I'm in actually in Vermont,
Okay, right.
which is in New England area, north of
Yep.
Boston, way on the Canadian border.
Yep.
So not far from Quebec, equidistance between Montreal and say New York City.
So I
Uh,
don't have to tell you about the mountains
I
and
don't.
how
No,
quickly the weather can come in.
I think I've heard about Scotland that the weather is very similar here in
Mhm.
this part of neck of the woods anyway.
Yeah.
And have not been to Scotland. Have you been to the U.S.?
Yes, but we've kind of gone to the main tourist traps. So
Yep.
New York, been to Boston, I suppose, which is possibly
Yeah,
the
yep.
closest bit to you.
That's about two
Um,
and a half hours drive from here.
yeah, enjoyed that immensely.
Nice.
Enjoyed it all the time actually in the States, but it's pretty much just as a tourist. So
Yes, yeah.
yeah,
Well, my father's heritage is from Scotland.
I
Um,
kind of I kind of guessed that you can't get
kind of
away with
guess that.
McLaughlin.
Yeah, McLaughlin, right? The Scottish version.
Yeah.
Um, but we wound up over here in I think it was in the 1840s,
Hmm.
something like that. So your last name is it Strawn or Strachan?
It's Strachan.
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 Okay.
Yeah, yeah. My
Uh,
wife and daughter, they've just spent the weekend in Prague. They went to visit the Christmas markets there,
oh,
and
nice.
when they checked into the hotel, the receptionist said to them, "Ah, you're from Slovenia." And he said, "No, no, we're from Scotland."
Yeah, it's
Oh, right. And
wrong. Try again.
he had some friends from there that same surname. I'm guessing different pronunciation, perhaps.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, you know,
yeah.
and actually, I in my very younger years, I worked in Switzerland for a while, and in those days, when I arrived at the train station in Chur, where I was working in Switzerland, the personnel manager met me from off the train, and then drove me up to the hotel because it was up the mountain a little bit, and got into the car, and he said, "Ah, so Strachan, you're Russian, yeah?" No,
All over the map.
not a Russian name. So there's lots of perhaps misconceptions about where my patronage is, but it's most definitely Strachan here, and
Strachan.
it's
Okay.
northeast Scotland.
I've heard both versions.
Yeah,
I guess Strawn is a lighter version, right? Is that
could
correct?
well be. Yes,
Yeah,
I've heard people say Strawn before, but
yeah, yeah.
certainly.
No doubt about mine, except very often they say Irish.
All
And more
right. Yeah.
often
Yeah.
it's the Scottish version of
Yeah.
McLaughlin. All kinds of spellings. So I spend a lot of my life spelling my last name for people
Yes,
when
and
I have.
pronouncing it as well, I would imagine.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Well, that's on my bucket list someday to get over to Scotland and check.
I'd love to go. I have some family in Toronto, as they say
Uh-huh.
there. I've never managed to get there to visit, but my aunt and uncle moved from Dundee. Oh, I was only probably perhaps 5 year old, 6 year old there,
Yeah,
and you know I'm embarrassed to say that I've never managed to get across and go visit, and I'd love to. Many of the family have, but I haven't. So
yeah, yeah. Well, there's so much to do and so many things we want to do. So many things on the bucket list, right?
mm, yeah.
So I just want to explain to people that Paul is an AI master guru. Has a wonderful product
Yeah.
called Goldmine Collective, which I use. It's one of the best guides out there, I think, on how to market online using AI, and I reference it often, Paul, and appreciate all the work you put into that. I mean, that must have taken a while.
Well, it's a work in progress. It continues to develop,
Right.
Steve.
It grows well because AI continues to develop as
Yeah,
we
yeah,
speak.
I have to say, thanks for your kind words about the product. It's, it's nice to hear that it's actually being used and is being useful for people.
Right.
Which is what I found in kind of developing it and putting the trainings together, is that there are lots of people and we're possibly not too far away from each other in terms of age. But what I found is that people of our generation perhaps aren't as IT aware as perhaps they could be, and there are, it's perhaps a little bit patchy. And my train of thought when I was developing what exists now is the fact, well, if I feel this way about going online, starting affiliate marketing, and using AI as a tool,
yes,
within that, then if I don't know what to do and where to go first, then there's going to be lots of other people the same.
Right.
So as part of that product development, I thought, well, the ideal audience is likely to be people of my cohort. So that's what drove me to do it, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. You find a niche, a need, and you fill it, right?
Yes, that's it, exactly.
The concept. Yeah. So, what are you working on now? I mean, what's keeping you excited and involved? And
well, I launched the product with the help of OLSP and with Wayne back in July, and since then I have now kind of moved forward into that towards webinars, and just last month, because of course we're into December now, just last month I did my first, shall we say, solo flight.
Nice.
As far as webinars concerned, and I'm into a whole new learning sequence now of once you've developed a product, you've launched the product, the next thing is to get it out to a larger audience. Right. And there are ways and means to do that. So it's going back to, not back to the drawing board, but certainly going back to the beginning of a new learning sort of module for me, in developing that webinar. And so that's what I'm doing. And once you've got the webinar kind of structured and built and written, it's then into, like everything, it's into refinement after that. Because you hear Wayne talk about the webinars that he's put together over the years, and how he started off with a webinar, and then you measure as you go and see what works, what doesn't work, take things out, put things in, and really change the whole, not the entire offering, because the offering's still the same, but the way in which it's presented can change over time. So that's really where my focus is, apart from this 30-day challenge, of course, which is also I don't know about you, Steve, but I'm really excited about this whole thing, the opportunity here. And I don't know if you managed to get onto the training earlier on this morning, but it might have been a little bit early for you where you are.
Yeah, I was actually up, but I had some things I had to take care of, so I can watch the replays, of course, and catching up that way.
Well, so, you're in for a treat, Steve.
After we do the interview here is my next goal.
You're in for a treat.
well,
no spoilers.
I can't wait. So in process of doing the whole webinar thing, I mean, that's something you can wind up using down the road a lot. I mean, once you've done the work, right, it's available. It can be used in many different ways, pieces and parts of it, or the whole thing. It becomes almost like an evergreen kind of thing, as long as your product doesn't.
Well, as I understand it, webinars have a kind of a shelf life. And as I understand, it's kind of 6 months. It's kind of the limit.
Okay.
So where I see this going is into a cycle of reinvention, if I can put it that way. So while I'm developing that webinar strategy, at the back of that, will be the development of new product, and creation of that, so that by the time you come to the end of the shelf life of the webinar, you're then into your next launch, and
Right.
therein the cycle repeats itself.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel yourself, Steve, but this is a very repetitive kind of game that we're involved in here.
Yeah.
Is once you've built something, created something, is rinse and repeat all the way through.
Right.
It's,
Right. It's getting those fundamentals down first, and knowing, the path, and then just repeating, like you say. So what did you find what's been the greatest challenge with doing the whole webinar thing for you?
Well, a couple of things, because I still have an offline business,
Yeah.
which I've run and had for 25 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So time management, I found was quite the challenge, particularly when I was creating all the product and doing all the recordings for the various modules and such like. And that's all got to be, you've got to fit that into your week.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the nitty gritty of recording those webinars, and you're looking to create something that's going to be, fit for purpose, you want to get it right. So when you're recording, take 1, take 2, take 36. It's kind of
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
action. It's that kind of thing. So that has an obvious strain on that. Talking on camera
Sure.
was never really a particular issue for me. I was quite happy to do that. But what I found is talking, particularly if you've got to do a number of takes to get things right in the first place, and you're doing the same lines over and over and over again, just the strain on your voice.
Right.
Always have a drink at the side, yes, for a quick swig, just to keep things going. But
Right.
all these things, they do multiply, and they are challenging, but you push through them.
Yeah.
I think,
Right.
you just want, it doesn't
Well,
matter how long it takes. You know where you want to get, and you just get there.
You get there. I can relate to the whole retake thing. I mean, I tend to be a perfectionist, so that can get in the way. But I'm a musician as well, and I've been in the studio where, I'd rather record live, because I play live. But if you do more than 3 takes, it's lost. It's like they keep getting worse, actually, in some ways. So very often, like, we'll do a recording, and if we haven't got it in 3 takes, we'll walk away from it and say, okay, we'll come back to that. Because if we didn't get it in the first 3 times, I'm playing jazz, which is an improvisational type of thing.
Yep.
And it changes each time anyway. But I don't know. That's just been my experience with the whole live kind of thing, or the recording kind of thing. So,
but I think it's worth saying, Steve. You say that. I think if you're doing something that is going to be recorded as per a piece of music, perhaps, and put into a collection of, it's going to be listened to time and time again, like a digital product. Like I had a training course where it's going to be used there over and over again for the months and ahead. It does need to have that level of perfection where you're not stumbling over words and that sort of thing. But when it comes to something like we're doing here now live, when that arises, it's a little bit more forgiving, shall we say. You can stumble over your words. You can repeat something that actually that's not what I meant. Watch the politicians; they do it all the time.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you can do it in different ways.
Yeah, you're allowed to be less perfect in this kind of a scenario. Absolutely. So you mentioned your previous career, or what you're doing now. What are you doing now?
So the way I've kind of made my living over the last 25 years, I have an energy consultancy. Some of my clients from day one are still with me, which I'm very proud to say. And it's something that I've built from from zero to where we are today. and
Now, what kind of a
that's
consultancy did you say?
energy.
Energy consultancy.
Energy.
Okay. Very
So
good.
I work with it's industrial and commercial energy. It's not a domestic, um, you know, kind of thing.
Right.
And that's kept me busy for 25 years. So
Well, that's great. That's
I
great.
do a lot of contract negotiation, a lot of sort of technical stuff involved with specific supplies.
Sure.
You know, a little bit of legislative things along the way. So it's quite broad based, I suppose, in what I do. But it's
Well, it's amazing that you must be great at time management to have your own business and on the side. I mean, your main business, and then to be doing all of this work on the side. How do you manage that?
you know, there's no real science to it at all, Steve. I have a diary, and I stick to it. When it comes down to it, I mean, I'm being a little bit glib there, perhaps, because you do have to know if you've started working on a task, you need to understand how long it's going to take you to do that. So you need to be able to organise your diary.
Exactly.
You know, in an effective way. And it doesn't always work out because things come up at the last minute, life happens and all that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
But you need to have enough slack in the system to be able to say, like, for example, today, I suppose at any time somebody could have come to me and I would have to have made a prioritizing decision.
Sure.
And there's always that possibility that you might have to cancel on something or postpone it or reschedule it. So that fluidity needs to be there at all times.
Yes.
But for being, you know, self-employed, running my own company for the last 25 years, that's a skill that you learn over time. Nobody's, if you're coming to this business now, this you know, online digital marketing, affiliate marketing kind of sector, and you haven't done anything like this before, then it's going to take there's a little bit of a learning curve there as to know how to manage your time. But it can absolutely be done, you know, on an hour a day. If you have an hour a day, do an hour a day, but promise yourself that, you know,
just do it. Be consistent.
Yes.
Absolutely. I can relate to all of that. 32 years. I'm now retired from this, but in the construction field, with my own business, restoration business of bathtubs and sinks and tile and countertops and things like that. And pretty much a one-man band, which makes it a little easier. I've had other businesses where I had up to 10 employees, but the last 32 years, I was able to do that and dabble, I have to say, in affiliate marketing. But it's great to be able to concentrate it on a little more. Well, that's great. So that makes me even more appreciative of the fact that you could take the time out.
No, I'm more than happy to. Really, I mean, that's, you know, I think if you've made a decision to get involved in this kind of endeavour, then I think you need to be true to your word and say, you know, if you're going to promise to do something, then you try your level best to do that. And that's what I'm doing. I'm committed to this. So, you know, when I'm sure you're the same yourself, Steve, when somebody asks you for help or they want you to do something, or if you can, you will. You know,
absolutely. So, what do you see coming down the line with AI? Anything? I mean, I know I'm always the positive.
I know. I get asked this all the time, and I wish I had a crystal ball because it is moving so fast. Somebody asked me earlier today, actually, you know, where do you see it in 5 years' time?
Oh my gosh,
I couldn't even have a good guess.
A lifetime in AI, 5 years.
AI, that's right. I mean, one thing I can be sure is it's not going to be used in the same way as it's being used today.
No.
People are going to cotton onto this, and they're going to see the potential, and they're going to start using it for their own benefit, not just as a tool to create a bit of content, not just as a tool to create some nice images. They're really going to be able to tap into it and to be able to scale their businesses so that they can strategize, so that they can build workflows that will allow an individual, somebody working on their own in this, to the same level as perhaps what I would say 5 years ago would have taken an office of 30, 40, 50 people to do. That
Absolutely.
is the potential, and that's available right now.
Right.
What it's going to be or where it's going to be in 5 years' time, I'm not such an expert that I can predict that.
Right.
I wouldn't know, but it's going to be, I would imagine, so much more than it is today.
Absolutely. Just in the time that I've been posting content, going from, searching for images across the internet that you didn't have to pay for, or what you could pay for, coming up with your own copy and text and,
Yeah,
and so on. Just so much time had to go
yeah,
into that, and now that you can get that down to minutes in a day to get your posts out there,
yeah.
and then go on to other things. But everybody else can too. So that's where the quality of the content is going to count. And but like you said, I mean, who knows what's coming down the road?
That's it exactly. It's it'd be a shrewd person that could predict where the market is going.
Hmm.
And I think, to be honest, I think Wayne's got a good handle on this. Wayne is well connected,
Yeah.
as he said before, and he has an instinct as to where things. I mean, he's already predicted that in the very near future, on Facebook, in the DMs, in the on the feeds and all that sort of thing, you're going to have AI talking to AI, and
Yeah.
it's going to go full circle in
Yeah.
that respect, because the human element and what makes your content can only be done by you. It can't be done by AI. AI is not there to. We talk about AI twins and clones and this sort of thing. Now,
Sure.
visually and audibly, yes, you can do it, and we can put ourselves into all sorts of scenes that are fantastical, magical, wherever you want to put yourself. But what is actually said and done, and that human element, can only come from you. It can't
Right.
come from a piece of software that's created you in your image, in your,
Yeah. Well, the
yeah, I can't do that.
flashy part of it is going to get old at some point, and then it's going to come back. It's going to come back to the individual and the human on human.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, it's curious to have watched Wayne kind of be totally AI. No, I'm not gonna. No, we're not doing that. And to see the transition, and I think it's because he knows. Well, you've got to go with it,
yep,
use it to your advantage, but it's going to change so fast, like you say, that it's not gonna help you in the long run. You're going to
sure.
have to you're still going to have to find that hook, that
Yeah,
little bit of difference from what everybody else is doing.
yes,
To,
the differentiator is what it makes. Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's great. Thanks again so much. I mean, I don't want to keep you gone here too long, so I know you're a busy man. Curious thing, I just noticed we practically are wearing the same type of glasses.
They are very similar. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
think there's
Okay. All right.
yours are perhaps a little bit broader across the lens, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
And
Yeah,
mine maybe a little more oval or square than yours are a little
yep,
round.
yep.
Well, that was an important thing to notice, so I'm glad I did. Paul, we'll see you online again. I like to watch your stuff.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to Wayne know that, yes, I do a lot of lurking in the background. You don't see me online a whole lot, but I am a real person, Wayne. And hi, we'll see you.
And,
See you later.
and
All
from
right, Paul.
today, we're going to see a lot more of you.
Take care, Paul. Thanks again.
That's great. Thanks, Steve. Good to see
Okay,
you.
take care.
Bye for now.